Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Fulfilled Musicpreneur podcast. Really glad to be here today with Brandon Lebowitz. Am I saying that right, Brandon?
Yep, Brandon Leibowitz.
Great. Said I was going to go for it and just check. Today we are talking about SEO optimizers. And I'm really excited actually for this conversation because the amount of times I've received random emails from people saying, "Hey, I note that your website is not ranking at the top of Google. Do you need my help?" And I'm like, uh, so I'm actually gonna learn a lot from this conversation. I can tell. So do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself first and just talk a little bit about your background, Brandon?
My name is Brandon Leibowitz, and I've been involved with digital marketing since 2007, helping people get more visibility and traffic to their websites. I got my degree in business marketing, and the first job I got out of school was helping a company out with their digital marketing. And that was back in 2007. And after working there for a few months, just kind of realized everyone's going to have a website in the future. And there's a lot of different ways to get traffic, such as doing SEO, running paid ads. You can do social media marketing, you do email marketing, and everything works. But I just focus more on search engine optimization because it's a way to get free traffic. And I thought, why spend money on paid ads if you could get up there for free? So over the years, worked at different advertising agencies as a director of SEO. And before work and after work and on my lunch breaks, I work on my own company and eventually built it up to where I was able to quit my job and focus solely on this, and been doing that ever since.
Wow. Can I just say how amazing it is that you were working on your own business during lunch break and you're able to do that to the point where you were able to work full time on your business.
It was a nice feeling being able to quit the job that one day, but it took a
That is
while to build
amazing.
it up and building it up.
How long did it take you?
At first, I was just happy to have a job. So back in 2007, I was happy to have a job and get a couple extra clients here or there. So I'd go to like a local restaurant and get a client once, one or two. Wasn't trying to build a bunch up. And then maybe after like 5 or 6 years of working full time and having one or two extra clients, I realized maybe I should try to push it more. And once I started pushing it more, then I grew it in a couple of years to where I was making the same amount that I was making at these advertising agencies.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Anything is possible. Really, just I think with dedication and hard work and time, you can do anything. All right. So, for people who are completely new to SEO, can you tell us about what it is?
SEO is search engine optimization, and that means optimizing websites to show up in search engines, which really just means when you search on Google, there's ads at the top. Those are all paid ads, but right below the ads are the organic, the free listings. And SEO is getting you in those free listings so you show up when people search for your keywords or your products or services.
Okay. Okay. So, you so essentially, what kind of things, apart from websites, what kind of things can we use SEO optimization for?
Well, it's mainly for websites or anywhere where there's a search engine. So if you search on Google, it can make you show up higher on Google. If you search on Amazon, it'll make you show up higher on Amazon. If you're searching on Yelp or YouTube or wherever it may be. So just try to make sure you get that free exposure on these platforms.
Okay. Okay. Do you want to talk about some success stories that you've how was a business before you worked with them, and the difference after you worked with them?
Worked with lots of businesses over the years and try to think of one that's related to music. I helped someone out a while ago. They were trying to get into, well, become a musician and actor and get some more visibility online. And they don't really have much exposure online. And I went in, cleaned up all the coding, put all the keywords in the correct places on their website. But Google doesn't really care what you put on the website because they don't trust you. So I had to get Google to trust that website by getting backlinks, getting other websites to talk about them. So getting them published on other third-party sites gets Google to trust you. And by doing that, was able to get them to rank for their keywords and started to see more gigs coming in for acting and more downloads and subscribers for the music. So it takes some time though. It's not immediate, but doing the right things, sending the right signals to Google gets Google to trust you and then ultimately show you higher in the search results.
Wow. Okay, you've just said something really important there. You said Google has to trust your website, and you can do this by posting on other websites that Google already trusts. Do you want to talk a little bit more about what you did?
Well, those are called backlinks. So yeah, I get other websites that talk about you. The more websites that talk about you, the more trust Google's going to give to you. And then they look at those keywords on your website. But it doesn't work the other way around. Without backlinks, it's impossible to rank on Google. And what is a backlink? A backlink is a clickable link from another website that points to yours. So if you're reading an article, let's say on the latimes.com, and in there it says Brandon Leibowitz, and you click on it and it goes to my website, I'd be getting a backlink from the latimes.com. So the more websites that talk about you, the more trust Google is going to give to you. And then they look at those keywords on your website to figure out what to rank you for.
Wow. And will these include blogs?
Any website, doesn't matter what it is. As long as another website's talking about you, that's all that Google cares about. So not posting on your own website, but posting on other people's websites. Doesn't matter if it's a blog post, an article, a press release, an interview, a product review, a directory listing, whatever it may be, but a video, a podcast, but whatever it is, as long as it's published on another website and has a link where you could click on it and it goes to your website, you'd be getting a backlink.
Wow. Okay. That's that's a really good strategy that I've not really thought about, actually, because I'm pretty sure I can do like a search of other websites that have featured something about me and then put that on my website, because that will essentially be optimizing my website then.
No, you want them to post on their website.
Yes.
So you want
So
the LA Times to
essentially,
post about you, or
so
the New York
essentially,
Times. You don't want to post about them, because if you post about them, you're helping them rank higher. You want them to talk about you only. If you give
yes.
them that help, then it cancels it all out, because then it becomes a reciprocal backlink. And so if I link to you and you link to me, it does nothing. If I link to you, that helps you out. If you link to me, that helps me out.
So like when a lot of musicians release music, a lot of blogs will pick it up and give us reviews. And then there will most likely be links to us. So that's what I'm talking about, because that will be on their website about music we've already released. And then we just need to make sure that in the article, there is a link to us, right?
To your
And then
website.
will
To your
I
website.
need
Not to your Facebook or your Instagram, but make sure
to
to
my
your website.
website?
If it links to your Facebook, you're just helping Facebook rank higher on Google. So you got to get other websites to talk about you. So if they're getting all this publications, if they're getting interviews, that's great, but it doesn't matter unless they have that clickable link where you
Link
click on
to
it,
my
it goes to your website, and that's called a backlink.
And I don't need to put that article on my website. That's what you're saying. It just needs to be on their website.
Yep, correct.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Okay. You talked about social media. How can we grow our social media following using SEO?
SEO doesn't really help out with social media that much. I mean, you could promote your social media channels on your website, but you don't really want to do that. You want people to go from social media to your website. You don't want it the other way around, because once they go from your website onto like Facebook, there's ads, there's all these distractions. It's too much noise on there. You want people to be on your website, but social media helps out if you know where your audience is at. And if they're on social media, then you got to be in front of them and just figure out what platforms they're active on, and got to be in front of them at the right moments and figure out which platforms to be on. That's really number one, is not being everywhere, but just being where your audience is at. You don't have to be on every platform.
Okay. So will SEO then work to grow your YouTube page or YouTube followers as well?
Well, yeah, you could get more subscribers on YouTube by
Okay.
optimizing your channel. And just like you could optimize your website, you could optimize your YouTube channel, you could optimize an Amazon, a Yelp, whatever it may be. And with YouTube, they're looking at like the title of your video, the description, making sure it has words in there, making sure that you add tags, make sure you have a good cover photo, making sure that people watch the video, and if they only watch it for 30 seconds and it's a 10-minute video, that's a bad signal. They watch it the whole way, that's much better. So if you get 100 views, but they only watch it for 5 seconds, that's not good. If you get 10 views, but they watch the whole video, that's much better. So looking at retention time, how many subscribers, how many likes, how many comments, how many social shares that video gets. Then you could embed the video on third-party sites. So just like you're building backlinks, you could take that video and you can embed it on your own website. And the more websites that embed that video, the more trust YouTube's going to give it, because Google owns YouTube. So it's similar algorithms, not the same, but similar things that they're looking at.
Okay. What other things do you do in your company using SEO?
I mean, they get you more traffic and then make sure that traffic converts into client sales, leads, phone calls, subscribers, downloads, whatever that conversion goal is, but just making sure that you get more conversions.
Okay. And with musicians or artists who you've worked with, how did you help them in their business? What did you do for them exactly?
I've helped them rank for their keywords. So if someone's searching for different keywords that they wanted to show up for on Google, but SEO is a little tricky for musicians because nobody's really searching for like rock and roll music or rap music on Google. They're going to go on YouTube or they're on Spotify or one of these other platforms. So making sure they have exposure and visibility on those platforms and making sure everything looks good, clean, it's optimized, and just tapping into where their audience is, because that's really number one. Is you don't have to be doing SEO if that's not where your audience is. You need to be in front of your audience and figure out who your audience is and how do I get in front of them at the right times.
Okay. And in regards to the other musicians that you worked with, what did their business look like? Because I know you do other things in your business as well, and I'm just curious what ways we can grow our music businesses using your expertise.
Yeah, I helped out with the like SoundCloud and things like that, but SoundCloud's kind of faded away. I mean, it's still there, it's still popular. And again, it's all about knowing your audience. If they're on SoundCloud, you gotta be on SoundCloud. If they're on YouTube, go on YouTube. If they're on Spotify, whatever it is. But I really helped out more with their website to make sure that it was optimized, that people were searching for bands in their area, that they could get local bookings and gigs and help them show up and get that exposure where people are searching for them and searching for like venue or entertainers in whatever city, and making sure that they showed up in those locations to get them booked.
Right. Okay. Can you talk us through how to get these keywords? Is there a place, a website? How do we get a list of these keywords so we can make sure we're putting them in the right places?
There's a free tool called the Google Keyword Planner, and it'll show you how many people search for your keyword every single month. So you could just put 1 or 2 keywords in there and it'll show you hundreds of variations, and it'll show you how many people search for that keyword every single month. So you can figure out, is this a good one, bad one, or should I use a different variation, a synonym, a plural, or completely different variation.
So Google Keyword Planner.
Yeah.
And that's a page. And you go on there, and what do you do when you get there?
You put your keyword in there that you want to rank for, and then you hit enter, and it'll show you how many people search for that keyword. It'll give you a couple hundred other variations of that keyword and show you how many people search for those.
Right. Okay. So you can pick something that you do, just anything, put it in there, and then it'll give you other variations and tell you how many people. So essentially, you'll be able to find the top ranking keyword for that topic, and then you can use that as your keyword on your website.
Yeah, you can find the ones that are most relevant and then incorporate them into your own website.
Right. Okay. Cool. All right. Is there anything else that you would like us to know to optimize our websites, pages, social? Do you know what? So I know that SEO doesn't work for social media, but what works? Because I know from your bio you have helped people grow their social media. So we can talk about that as well. How did you, what can we learn about growing our social media audience?
Well, you got to be social on social media. So a lot of
That's
people
a
just
good one.
post all day long, and it's called social media. It's not just called media. A lot of people just post and they're not being social. If you're not being social, it's gonna be tough to grow. You gotta engage
Right,
with other people, like their pictures, comment, reshare, retweet, reheart, whatever platform you're on. But you gotta
right,
engage with people. If you're not engaging, you're not gonna be able to grow organically, or it's gonna be
right.
tougher. But if you engage, then it's gonna be much quicker. So that's the way to get that organic growth is just be social.
Wow. Okay. I think, you know, me, because I am so swamped with life, with a really busy schedule, with all that I do, I post, right? Or I get my social media manager to post. But I don't think I actually schedule time to go back in to engage. I think I might need to put that on my calendar. I
Put
think
that
I
at the
do.
top of the to-do list.
Yeah, because to me it's almost like posts box ticked. But actually it's also engage box ticked.
Hmm.
Currently
That's the most
it's
important one.
yeah, because currently if something is doing really well, then I go and I engage. But if it's not doing really well, then I just leave it. But there's probably more that I can be doing after I post.
What
I've
we
heard of
do.
Yeah, like I've heard of people sending messages um to people who have engaged with their posts in the past, just saying, "Hey, thank you so much for engaging." It doesn't even have to be they just liked or commented now. It could just be a slot on your calendar just for communicating and engaging with people on social media, and it could be something that can be done in a very what's the word, intentional way, because I think that would probably get more results. So yeah,
Uh,
that's be
Yeah, you gotta
social
be
on social
social.
media.
Yeah. If you're not being social, if you're not following, liking, commenting, tweeting, retweeting, favoriting, all that stuff, then it's gonna be tough to get that organic growth. And if you're just posting, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. That's half the battle. You gotta post and engage. If you're just posting, that's not good. If you're just engaging, that's really good. But if you're not posting, that doesn't help out. So you gotta do both. You gotta be social and engage and post content, good content.
Mm, okay, good. Anything else on social media? Any other tips?
I mean, it's tough nowadays to get organic growth. So the more pay to play platforms, if you want to get any visibility, you got to advertise. So I'd say if you're going to advertise, spend money on Google ads. Don't waste your money on social ads because people aren't
Hmm,
searching on social media. People search on Google. They're looking for your product or service. But it just depends on what you're doing. Like for musicians, maybe social might be good, like on YouTube or Spotify.
okay. So if you were offering service, so for example, I am working on my coaching business, trying to build a music business coaching. Well, trying to build that side of things. If I wanted to advertise, I would have thought a lot of my clients would have been on Facebook or social media, anyways. But you're saying you prefer Google Ads.
Well, it just depends where your audience is at. If they're on Facebook, be on Facebook.
Yeah.
But people search on Google. People aren't searching on Facebook, so they're not looking. You're just interrupting them. People search on Google, they're actively looking. That's the only
Mm,
difference.
right, right. Okay. Do you want to talk a little bit about email marketing? Because I know that's something you do as well. Any tips to use our emails optimally, to grow, to market, and to earn money through our emails?
I would just don't buy emails. Make sure people subscribe to your list and then just offer value. If you're promoting yourself or any product or service, no one's going to want to read that. So just offer value. And the more value you offer, the more trust people are going to have. And then eventually you're going to want to use your product or service, but never promote yourself. Just offer value.
Right. I find that really tricky sometimes. um, so, for example, you, I assume you have an email list. right? Brandon, do you have an email list, or are you okay? You're not frozen.
Mhm. Oh, yeah, I'm listening. Yep, I hear you.
Wh- what do you consider value? So essentially, like what you're talking to us about today, you
Just
essentially just send
mm,
emails about that.
just yeah, talking about SEO, what's going on in the world of SEO. Never promoting myself, because if you promote yourself, no one wants to hear that or read that. If they're getting your email, they already know who you are, so you don't need to promote yourself any extra.
Okay. And then eventually, if they want to work with you, then they just hit you up.
In the signature, there's usually your website address where they reply, and then you can respond back to their emails, or your phone number's there.
Right. So what you're saying is you already have your details at the at the end of every email. Is just the norm, and then people just use that to contact you. And
Yep, just a
okay,
normal, yeah, just a normal signature. Thank you, my name, phone number, website. So they'll have my contact information there, and they can reply to the email if they wanted to as well.
okay, okay. Do
Yeah, just
you
never promote yourself. People
do you
lose
do you send out the oh, yeah, you do, because I think you said in your email. I was gonna ask, do you send out the podcasts that you go on? And that's probably that's considered value as well, isn't it? So
Mhm. Yep, because I'm not promoting myself, just offering. But if it was a podcast just promoting myself, I wouldn't do that. But if it's a podcast where I just offer value, then yeah, it's all about
okay,
value added.
great, great, great. Okay. And how often do you email your client list?
So it just depends. Like if you're an event venue that's hosting musicians, you probably want to email them on like Friday, Saturday to get them ready for the weekend. Whereas like myself, I'm doing digital marketing. I probably want to email people Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, more in the morning. So it's all about just knowing who your audience is and how receptive they are and how frequently you can email people without getting them upset. So it's just kind of testing the waters and not overdoing it, but just understanding who your audience is and putting yourself in the user's point of view. If you were getting those emails, what would you want to see? How often would you want to get them? What times? What days of the week? How frequently should you be getting them? But never more than once a day. But it just depends on your audience. You could send one a day for a couple of weeks to get them to know you and learn you about you and offer that value, or once a week or once a month. But it's just really kind of testing, trial and error, and playing around with it and seeing how receptive people are to that content. If people say stop, then maybe you're sending it too frequently. Or if people say send more emails, then maybe you could increase that frequency.
Okay, very good. Okay. I love thinking about these things because I'm always trying to see if there's a way I can improve on what I'm currently doing. So this is a fascinating conversation for me. Is there anything else that you would want to share with us? Any other tips for digital marketing?
Just be patient with everything. It all takes time, but as long as you do the right things and send the right signals, you'll start seeing that traffic increase. But just be patient with it all. It sometimes you go viral, but usually you have to take time and build it and build it and build it up, and eventually you'll get to that level that you want to be at. But just be patient.
Right, right. Okay. And in on an average, for the clients you've worked with, how long? This is probably as long as the answers or options are probably very, very wide, but just ballpark. How long did it take someone to grow their following, their audience by doing all of these things?
And on average, for search engine optimization, it takes about 6 months.
Okay. And when you say increasing traffic through your website using SEO, how many what how do you quantify it? But what aim should you be hoping for?
Well,
Should
you
I
just want to see your traffic increasing. So looking at like Google Analytics, you could see how much traffic you're getting, and you want to make sure that's increasing month over month, week over week,
uh,
day over day, year over year. And you can look at your positioning on different keywords and track what position you're in and make sure that you're moving up the positioning. So Maybe one day you're position number 50 on Google. Next week you're position 48. That's an improvement. Then you drop down to 40, then 37, and just want to track those.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Okay. So yeah, I think a lot of us musicians are not good at monitoring or even measuring stuff. We just do and don't really analyze. But I think this is something we have to learn if you want to grow. Isn't that right? If you're running a business, you have to know what key performance indicators to look for, and it's really important to not compare yourself to others, but compare yourself to your past self. Just like you said, to just make sure you are growing. It'll take the time it takes, but as long as you are heading in the right direction, you'll get to where you want to get to eventually. So I think that's really good. Anything else you want to share with us before we wrap up, Brandon?
Yeah, I would just say get a mentor if you can. They really help out as well to help speed up everything and take you on that journey and path.
Yeah, absolutely. Gosh, I don't think I'll be where I am today without multiple mentors that I've had over the years. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Brandon. This has been really good. Really, really good. I think this is one of the parts of our business, this sort of analytical appraisal. This is not something we're really good at, but I think it's definitely worth knowing, worth learning. Yeah. So thank you. Thanks for the time. Thanks for all of the value you've given us today.
And for everyone that's listening or watching, I created a special gift for them. If they go to my website, seooptimizers.com. That's seooptimizers.com/gift. They can find that there along with my contact information, a bunch of classes I've done over the years I've thrown up for free so they can watch those. And if they want to book some time on my calendar, happy to check out their website and give them some feedback for free there as well.
Amazing. Wow. Thank you so much, Brandon. All right. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Bye now.